John, the purist he was, wanted to keep the brand simple, not adding sugars, thus keeping the food healthy and not deviating from the purpose of its inception. Brother Will, however, realizing that they were going broke and would sell more if they simply added sugar, had eventually convinced John to sell him the company. The Kellogg we know today is a product of the creator's brother and is far from the health food it was intended to be. Interestingly enough, a patient at Kellogg's sanatorium was C.W. Post, the connoisseur of honey bunches of oats. He managed to work his way into the kitchen, and he too stole the recipe and tailored it to invent grape nuts. And no, they aren't grapes, and they aren't nuts. Post then managed to buy the exclusive manufacturing rights to a cereal-making machine that Will Kellogg helped invent. Then, for decades, bran, flakes, cereal, whatever you want to call it, they advanced. And in 1921, Wheaties appeared when someone supposedly spilled a bran mixture on the stove. In 1927, according to Kellogg, he was charmed by the crackling sound of milk on toasted rice, giving rise to Rice Krispies. In the 1930s, the odd story of Chex entered the field, with deep ties to Webster Edgerly, who led a health cult known as Ralstonism, which was basically eugenics and mind control. Fortunately, General Mills now oversees Chex production, so if you eat them, you're not supporting a delusional racist, just a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Finally, in 1941, Cheerios were invented in Buffalo, New York, but called Cheerios. Cereal was relatively unhealthy when sugar was added, but it became even more so in the 1950s. Sugar became the selling point. 1952 saw the sugar-frosted flakes, which fueled the trend with Tony the Tiger, who bested all of the competition, like Katie the Kangaroo, Elmo the Elephant, and Newt the New. The most notable I can think of is Toucan Sam of Fruit Loops since 1963, and of course Captain Crunch, or his real name, Horatio Magellan Crunch. There are of course many notable cereal avatars like the Leprechaun and even the Flintstones. They are all part of a culinary history, deeply intertwined with advertising and health nuts in the USA. Even today, breakfast cereals are a staple for kids across America watching Saturday morning cartoons. Though I believe it is not a good one, it is still our history, which we can learn from and improve.